This is a TalkStation original podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Paper Boys podcast. I'm JJ Smith.
And I'm Zach Nally.
We're reporters with the Carteret County News-Times. We're joined today by Croatan senior swimmer Madison Bowen. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, I'm very excited.
So Madison is part of our state champion series. If you win a state title, you get on the podcast. Them's the rules. Madison won a state title in the 200-yard freestyle this winter. And my favorite thing about the Student Athlete of the Week interview I did with her this winter, and by the way, a three-time.
I was going to say, this is the third time you all have chatted.
Fourth time, really.
Over the signing.
But she's a fifth time.
Okay.
Three-time News Times Student Athlete of the Week. Signing story.
Oh, Player of the Year, I bet.
And now this is
okay.
the fifth time.
So, I see.
Yeah, I basically have it in my calendar every February. Call Madison Bowen.
Right.
Because she's going to do something.
Well, now you're graduating, though. So
well, yeah, now. I mean, she might do stuff. She's going to be swimming in college, so who knows? It might be every February in college. So my favorite thing about the Student Athlete of the Week interview this winter was when I talked to her, and this kind of gives you an idea of where Madison Bowen is in her life. She says, you know, I just have to keep it in perspective that it was cool just to win one state title. So that's where she is. That's how she's doing in her life. So the dream was to win two.
Yes.
And I had to settle for the one. God bless.
That's all.
So tell us about how this state title meet went down for you.
Well, this year I was swimming in the 200 and the 500 freestyle, and I had both events both were very good, very exciting opportunities. Going into the meet last year, I had won them both, and that was a very big deal, very exciting. So there was a lot of pressure to go in and repeat, and I got one of them. So exactly like you said, keep it in perspective that one state title is very exciting.
Don't be too disappointed.
So, yes.
And our main competition in both of those was Smithfield Selma's Francesca Di Giovanni. Mm-hmm. Wow, say that 5 times fast. So you beat her.
I call her Frankie.
There you go. Much easier. So you beat her in the 200. You finished in 1:52.39. Is that a good time for you?
0.13 off of my best.
So nice. And was that the first event for you?
It was.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I've got one down. Mm-hmm. I just need to complete the sweep. I'll get the 200. I mean the 500. But she got her revenge.
She did.
In the 500. She went 5:03.01. You went 5:03.44.
Correct.
And you said that bummer, but on the other hand, if you were going to lose to anybody, you said you didn't mind losing to her.
I was so, just genuinely happy for her. Obviously, it kind of stung, but at the same time, just, seeing the look on her face, I couldn't, be upset in the moment. I was in the exact same position last year of thinking that, I had zero shot in the world of winning it, and then I dropped 6 seconds off my best time, which, doesn't happen in swimming. And I just had one of those, miracle swims, basically, and, that was what she had this year. So I just, I know, the pure joy that she felt.
Oh, so time-wise, that was off the charts for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She had a very similar drop to what I did last year.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
And you were like, well, I can't complain. I did that to somebody last year. I'm not going to complain when somebody does it to me.
Yeah.
And also, you said you've guys become friends over the years. Mm-hmm. Seen each other a lot of meets.
We see each other every year at states, and then we started getting to know each other at club meets a little bit more, and we just talk every year when we see each other, and we've started to get closer through
and you've bonded over Taylor Swift.
Yes, always.
Swifties.
We are both Swifties, so we've got that going for us.
Has there been lots of text over the years, Swiftie material?
Well, we always talk about what Taylor Swift walkout song it's going to be when we go out. So,
what is your walkout song?
Usually my go-to is Dancing with Your Hands Tied.
Okay.
It's just a fun little.
What's hers usually?
Hers? What was it this year? I think it was Look What You Made Me Do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to people to bond over T Swift.
It is, especially in her Eras Tour era.
Sure.
It's been a great time.
Sure.
Yes.
You talk about the accolades that Madison is, or that you've been able to have throughout your career, but if you go back to when you were a freshman, I think you said you couldn't believe that you would reach this point. Tell me about the first time you got into the pool as a high school swimmer. I mean, Croatan has an incredible program. Were you intimidated by the talent that you saw there? Did you ever think that you would see yourself where you are now there?
I definitely was really nervous my freshman year going into it. I knew that, like, going into the team, just, like, as a freshman, I was going to be one of the strongest swimmers on the team. And I was really scared that, like, people would, like, not like me because of that. But the team that we had my freshman year was just such, like, a genuine group of, like, nice people. Like, I still, like, every year when we get to, like, states and regionals, I, like, remember those, like, senior girls my freshman year and, like, how much I looked up to them. And it just, like, even the people who came, like, that I didn't swim with, that I know, like, through my club swimming that swam at Croatan, that I just, like, looked up to them so much and wanted to be them. Like, I knew that there was, like, going to be, like, a lot coming for me at Croatan. And they just have, like, such an amazing swimming legacy over there. We've had Michaela Wersinger coaching us for so long. And she's just, like, created a really great team over there.
Have you felt your role change as the years have gone by?
Definitely. My freshman year, I like was super shy, and I'm more of like a naturally shy person, but
more so then, yeah.
Yes, more so then. I like did not talk to anybody other than like the people that like I kind of mentioned, like the seniors that like I was on a relay with, that like I love those girls. I started to get to know them a little bit, but I was super quiet. And each year I think I've become more of a leader on the team, and I've like really loved getting to be that role model for people, because I know how much it meant to me when I was younger to have those girls to look up to, and to know that like I could be that potentially for someone is like really exciting.
Well, I know in your signing day story, Coach Wersinger mentioned that you had been one of the best leaders that she had seen on the team in a long time, and you know, as you become a senior, that role really clicks in. How did you kind of overcome coming out of your shell and taking that role?
Yeah, that meant a lot coming from her, because it definitely wasn't like easy. She's known me since I was probably like 10 years old. Like I've known her like my whole life, my whole swimming life. And so like she knows that I'm not going to be that person who's like standing up out of the lane of like, okay guys, let's give a speech, like all this, like not my style. But it definitely, I would say it just kind of like naturally fell into place more and more. Like when you're winning things, doing well at practice, showing that like you're working hard, people are naturally just going to sort of like look to you. So it came kind of naturally that I just got like started to get closer with people, and I think had some more of like that power kind of.
Finished what, 4th in the 500 as a freshman at the state meet, 6th in the 200. Did that give you some confidence going forward?
I was really excited with it. I had like such like little like expectations kind of like going into the meet. I was just kind of happy to be there. And I was like, I'm in the A final for both. For 4th you still get a medal. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to like stand on the podium. Like sure. I was really excited about that. And then I remember at the end of that season, JJ, did an interview with Michaela, and she said something about how Madison Bowen has ring potential next year, and I was like, why the heck would she ever say that? Like, and I literally like got mad at her at practice. I was like, why would you ever say that? But then like the next year I missed that by 0.2, so it's like there was potential for that.
Were you like, what's the guy in Talladega Nights? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah,
was that what you were?
Don't speak it until I'm ready.
Pretty much.
And then sophomore meet, you kind of put your name on the state map. You finished second in both the 200 and the 500, and then the 200, it was 0.3 of a second. Did that? If you had confidence from freshman year by finishing 4th and 6th, man, a couple of silvers as a sophomore, you probably thought, okay, I kind of belong at this level. Yeah. I remember talking to you this year, and you were talking about the 500, and I'm always kind of fascinated with swimming. You know, you're in the pool, and obviously you got goggles you can see, but I'm always wondering if you could tell when you hit the wall. And you said you can, even if it's down to, you know, 1/10 of a second, you know if you've won or lost.
It's really like you wouldn't think you could tell that close, but I don't know. It's like every time, I feel like the past 3 years, all the races I've had have come down really close. Like, or I've had at least one race each year that came down to within 0.26 specifically. Like it's really crazy. My sophomore year, I lost by 0.26. Last year I won by 0.26, and this year I lost again.
Oh, wow.
Like that's just like such a God thing to me.
Those are Powerball numbers
wow.
right there. Like,
those are your lottery numbers for the rest of your life.
That's it, like yeah, I know. But yeah, that was really crazy. Wow. But it's like each time I knew if I was the one. Like
wow.
like before you look up at the clock, but like I knew what it was going to say.
That's
and
wild
like,
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a race different than the state championship one that sticks out as like maybe the moment, or a race that sticks in your memory as the one that you're proudest of, maybe, or one that was like really close and you won it, and maybe it's not as big as the state championship, but there's another one out there that feels like that?
Probably the state ones are just the ones that say that. For me, I don't really get a ton of close races until we get to
That
states.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I got
That
you.
does make sense.
And we always ask people too, you know, as big as their victories stand out, some of their losses stand out harder. Do you feel like, is there a race that, like, is there a particular one that got away from you?
I mean, this year, that 500, it snuck away.
Yeah.
Because you were the number one seed, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you respected, you had the bullseye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the other favorite interview of mine with Madison, again, yearly interviews with Madison, was her last year when she pulled the double, won the 200 and the 500. Her coaches, her teammates, her family, her friends, everybody says, you're going to do it. You're going to win the 200 and the 500. And you were like, no.
I was getting mad. I was like, stop saying that. But I guess it happened.
Well, this is one of those instances in life where two things can be true at the same time. Coaches, teammates, family, friends, they ended up being right, so they can hold that over you for the rest of your life. Told you so. But logically and rationally, statistically, the numbers wise, you had the argument. Mm-hmm. You were not going to win the 500.
I was like, oh my gosh, like this girl, her best time is 6 seconds faster than mine, and like I'm not
right.
dropping 6 seconds. Like that doesn't happen.
Right. Fred T. Ford's Catherine Simpson.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she had beaten you by 4 seconds at the state meet the year before. Mm-hmm. And then you go out and shave 6 seconds. What is a normal PR to shave off? Like a second? Half a second?
If that. And a 500, I would say maybe like a second or a second. Like, yeah, that, like, if I dropped a second next time I swam, I would be jumping up and down. Like, I would be over the moon.
Sure.
But, no, dropping 6 in, like, in an event that I, like, swim regularly, like, that's one of my best events, like that. I've just been swimming it. That's
is there
crazy.
a moment when you get done and you're almost in like this, like, are we positive that was my time?
Absolutely. For a long time, or even after my sophomore year, I had a similar swim in the 200. I dropped, I think it wasn't as sudden, but over the course of one season, I dropped 6 seconds then,
Wow.
which like also doesn't happen. Right. But I like, until I went a 152 for the second time, I like truly believed that there was like a clock malfunction.
A typo, yeah. You're waiting for the email to be
like, I would like watch the video of me swimming it and like start my own watch and be like I truly believed there was no way.
Well, that combination of confidence, but also a little bit of self-doubt, that's kind of fun because you don't know what the outcome is going to be.
So, yeah, you look up at the clock that night and or that day, it's 5:03:37. You're like, there's no way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And Simpson's probably thinking, there's no way. That girl's not supposed to do that time, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Tell us about your, go back to another interview, her sophomore year Student Athlete of the Week, where you were talking about your lifestyle of what it's like to be a competitive state championship quality swimmer and the days in the pool, the times in the pool. Tell us what your 4 years of high school has been like, especially when you're really deep into your training. What's it look like? Mm-hmm.
I would say like my freshman, sophomore, junior year, I was like probably like the busiest person like of all my friends. Like I like this like semester pretty much for the first time ever, I'm able to like hang out with people like after school on like a weekday. Like that's crazy. Like I genuinely didn't realize that like people did that. Like that's crazy.
It's a whole other world out there.
Like every like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning we would have practice before school, and then after school we would have practice every day. Saturday morning we would have practice. During high school season you'll have a meet Wednesday afternoon, like a meet on Saturday, like then you'd have a club meet the next weekend, like all over the weekend. Like it was like a very busy schedule, and then like schoolwork on top of that. But like this year has been very different. It's being like senior year, you have like less classes, like all that. This semester my only class is an internship with third graders, and I like seriously love it more than anything in the world. They are like the best kids, and I've learned so much doing that. But I have like a lot more free time now, so I'm able to like do things during the day, and I'm taking 3 community college classes, and I'll go like sit at a coffee shop and do my work. Like it's so fun. But
what was it? 4 days a week? You said you were in the pool at 5 a.m., 5:30.
Assuming that's the gym at Cape Carteret.
No, that's the sports center in Moorhead.
Oh wow.
Oh
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Our high school team has practice at the gym in Cape Carteret, so I would be there like 1 morning a week, and then the other 3 mornings a week
I
we're in
gotcha.
Moorhead.
So the alarm goes off at what? 4:30.
On the weekdays, it was 4:04 for 5 a.m. practice in Moorhead.
4:04. That's so specific.
Okay, so the right side of the clock has to equal the left side.
I get it.
So it can be like 4:04, or I could get up at like 4:13 because 3 + 1 is 4.
Oh, little OCD action.
It's just like if it's balanced,
this is
it'll
why
be
we
a
do
good
this
day.
podcast. Is to learn things like this.
Get the deep dive.
If it's balanced, it'll be a good balanced day.
Well, like I know about like stopping the volume on an even number. But,
Oh yeah, it
like,
has to be even.
but I've never heard of the clock matching. This
good.
is phenomenal. I love
So-
it.
Yeah,
So what time are we going? What time are we going to bed?
Like 9.
not early enough.
I know that's the thing. I do these student athlete of the week
No.
interviews, and I'm like,
it's hard
what
to
time?
turn
And they're
it
like,
off.
we can talk at 9:30. I'm like, dude, 9:30.
You should be asleep,
You're
young
going to
man.
be swimming in the pool at 4 o'clock. What are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of right now we swim in Havelock in the afternoons, and our practice ends at 7. So I'll usually get home at like 7:45, and then like shower, eat dinner. It's 9 o'clock, and like
Kinda
then
keep
try to do
depressed.
some
Then
homework.
homework's
Sure.
beginning at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Golly day.
These kids these days, man. I'm telling you.
Well, tell
Pretty busy.
you mentioned working with the young people and how much you enjoyed that, and you're going to get a chance to swim at Marshall. Congratulations, third
Yes.
Division I Croatan swimmer third Croatan swimmer to get a Division I swimming scholarship. Are you going to study education there?
That's my plan, elementary education.
Awesome. Is that something that you've wanted to do for a while now?
For a long time, I was in between education and social work, and then I had my internship this semester, and I like seriously like just leave there every day in like the best mood. Like I love what I'm doing so much that I like kind of thought about it more, and I was like, I think I could love social work this much, but it also would be like so like I'm worried that I would bring it home every day, and I think I would really struggle with that. So I was like, I love this so much. And I looked into double majoring for a little bit, but
Well, we
They
need great
don't-
teachers.
yes. But none of the like courses really like overlapped. It really would have been like 2 like completely separate majors. And on top of swimming, I was like, I can't make that work.
Well, that was my next question.
So,
Did you know you wanted to swim in college as well?
Pretty much.
Yeah. When did you think you had the opportunity to do that?
I think it's always just kind of
Okay.
been talked about
You didn't want
for
to stop.
me.
You wanted to keep going. You've been doing it a long time. Yeah, makes sense.
As long as I can remember, really, it's been like just
Yeah.
like kind of like a fact.
Do you
It's
think
like
after
I'm going
college
to
is
do
over,
this.
you'll find a way to continue?
I don't know. I've like it's always interesting how some people like completely like take away from the sport for like years, and then some people will stick with it. Like I think I've always been like a very active person. Like I'm always moving in some way, but I don't know if I'll be like immediately back into swimming or if it's like, okay, I need a little break from this for a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough sport to kind of
But,
continue, right? Like unless you get.
I mean, I see like these like masters at the pool that I
Sure.
swim at now. They're 75 years old and they get to the pool every morning at 6 a.m. Like the dedication they have is like incredible.
Well, especially if that's such a
So-
low impact sport at that age too. It's so nice. Well, that's awesome. Are you? Do you know what events you'll be swimming at Marshall or?
Pretty much what I swim now, the
Gotcha.
mid-distance freestyle and butterfly.
How did we come to choose Marshall?
Marshall was, so it like kind of stuck out to me first because it was the first school to reach out to me. And it was just kind of like, whoa, like that's so exciting. Like, so I
Sure.
always kind of like had it in like the back of my head, but it wasn't like super serious. Like I was still talking to like a ton of other schools. Like for the first like probably few months, they weren't even like top 5, I would say. Like it was just kind of there. But I went on a visit to another school, and then on the way to that school, Marshall was like on the drive, and we were like, oh, like we'll just like swing by.
Pop in.
And
Beautiful campus.
I literally texted the coach that morning and was like, hey, like I'm gonna be like on campus today, just looking around, like, if I could stop by. And the coach texted me back and was like, yes, like, please. And he and the assistant coach at the time wound up giving me like a 3-hour tour around like the entire campus. Like, I was so like impressed with like everything that they had to show and just what I saw from like the campus itself. Like, that's one thing that like everybody I've talked about Marshall to, like anyone who knows anything about Marshall, they're like, oh my gosh, like I've heard how beautiful it is. Like, it is just gorgeous.
It's right
like,
in the mountains of
the
West
Virginia
right?
mountain.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it was just like really special to like walk around. It has such a rich history, and it was just like it really stuck out. Then I took my visit there and actually met like all the girls on the team, and I just like loved like the bond that they have, like how they felt about the coaches, like everything.
And no offense to in-state schools, but I remember you. I remember you telling me you were like, I wasn't looking to have Croatan 2.0. I wasn't looking to
get away a little bit.
Yeah, let's try something different.
It's not that I was like opposed to like in-state. Like we have like North Carolina is an amazing swimming state. Like it's really random, but like North Carolina, California, Florida are like the top 3 out of the 50 states. Like it's like we're insane for swimming. But I just wanted to kind of like get out of like what I know. Like I've had high school. I've loved my high school experience, but I'm ready to like kind of experience other things too.
Sure.
It's not too far away.
And you something like UNCW, that would have
No.
Croatan all over
That's
again,
way
right?
too close.
Yeah, no.
Mom and dad are popping in all the time. Like, no.
I've been to a school where I can see the water from my school. I don't need to do that again. Yeah,
No,
let's see
the
a mountain
mountains
this
are
time.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were going to Ohio that trip, right? Ohio University. Yeah. So you were looking to get out and get away a little while.
And that I really struggled with, like, do I want to be far away for a little while too? But the more I thought about it and talked to people, like, as an athlete, you're not like leaving on the weekends anyway.
Right.
So it's like, even if I was 2 hours, 3 hours away from my house, like I couldn't go home anyway.
Are you prepared for
it's
life as a Division I athlete and what is expected of you? Because apparently everybody just says it's like a full-time job.
I guess so. I mean, the way I look at it is like they have like the 20-hour per week maximum. They're like, you can't go over 20 hours of practice per week, and that's pretty much what I'm at right now.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like your
so
schedule
it
changed.
can't like
Yes.
be but so much worse. So
You're already in the pool at 5 a.m. every morning. I
And
don't know
then
how much
I'll-
more intense it's going to
I'll
get.
be 5 minutes from the pool instead of 45
There
minutes.
you
So like that's an extra hour and a half of my day. Like you're just adding time.
Nice.
So
Nice. I think the other thing I'm interested in with Madison is 500 meters swimming.
It's a long time, man.
That's a long time in the
What is
pool.
it, meters, yards?
500 yards, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always.
I mean, she said 5 minutes and whatever the
Yeah,
time was,
5
and I thought,
nonstop swimming.
I mean, that's intense.
Well, I'm always fascinated by endurance athletes because the pace is everything, right? And you can't. You get this experience of your body just eventually
machine-like.
Yeah, I can't go too fast. I can't go too. But at least when you're a runner, you can check the watch out. When you're a swimmer, can you feel the difference? I'm 1 minute. I'm 1 second faster than I need to be.
not really.
you're
Not
just-
really.
you're just-
Sometimes
you're-
you finish and you're like, oh my gosh, that felt so much harder than that shows. But yeah, no, you just kind of get in it and hope that.
Gosh, it feels like it would be like putting on a blindfold and running on a treadmill and just kind of like knowing how much you can push your body
Yeah.
or how much you
Yeah.
can't push your body and try. That's
And the endurance stuff is always that last kick, right? Do I have enough left in the tank? Yeah. Have you been at big meets and you went to do that kick and you're like, oh no, it's not there. I've emptied the gas tank.
Yes. After high school season, you're always just like so exhausted. Like it is a different level of exhausted. And we had like a club meet, I think 2 weeks after high school states, and I like never crashed and burned in a race so hard. But it felt like a little justified because I'd had the flu the week before too, so it was like, but it was just one of those experiences that I got out of the pool and my coach said to me, he was like, I can tell you left it all in there. That was his only response. And I was like, thank you.
That's the other funny thing about winter sports is you talk to Michaela every year and she's like, if we're healthy, we'll do good. It's like the flu, the cold, COVID.
anything can break it.
Yeah, y'all are lucky
Everyone
to.
gets so sick.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Especially
bus.
the time of year that swimming takes place.
Right. The bus probably just sounds like a
So bad. So bad.
coughing and sneezing and everybody's just
So bad.
Right. God bless. Well, Madison finishes her high school career with 3 gold medals, 3 silver medals.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
No. Well, you have been a joy to cover your career. You have provided the News Times with a lot of content for the past 4 years.
Thanks.
So thank you so much.
I'm glad swimming got a little bit of spotlight.
There you go. And we will be continuing keeping up with you at Marshall.
Yay.
Thanks.